today's video, we're going to do a 444K brake pedals. Got a couple of new ones right here. And just taking the old ones, they're all getting hung up or getting rusted or whatever inside here, so they're sticking to brakes. Brakes are getting stuck on. It happens every once in a while. I do believe this is the second time I'm doing this one in particular. Just too much mud or whatever gets built up and dust. Yeah. So the one's already removed. Doesn't take much. You got this bar that connects them too. I do believe on the side there was a... oh no, that's not it. Yeah, here they are. Is it like a number 4? Yeah, number 4 Allen key. I got these short ones from Mac years ago. I like these shorty ones. They're a little, they fit in the corners a little bit better. And then you're gonna have the valve on the bottom of this thing. I just usually leave, I loosen them off. There's only gonna be 2 bolts, number 6 mil. I loosen them off and then I lift the thing up after I take these bolts out with it, because that valve will fall just like it did just now. So I like to keep it up as much as possible. You got to be careful too. There's a what is it? There's a push rod inside this that if you're not careful, it'll fall out and you'll lose it. So hopefully I didn't do that this time. Usually I got a screwdriver. Like I said, I got a screwdriver and I kind of bumped it just now, just to hold it up and out. So it's just easier to take this off. And you got a gasket underneath it too. Noise and dust. Anyways, so like I said, this here is basically the thing you got to worry about. Hopefully, like I said, this one here, I'm pretty sure it didn't fall apart. I didn't lose the push rod in there yet. Yeah. So there you go. So there you go. So I just put one bolt in there just so I could lift it up enough. The screwdriver turned out a little too big, so I just stuck the Allen key in there to hold it up. I'll show you what I mean by the push thing. This here will actually pop off, and there's a spring inside with a push. There's a push rod in there. As you can see, it's kind of messy. So you got to be careful not to lose that part. So once that pops out and you lose your push rod or whatever, and you don't know it's there, you just put that back on there without the push rod in there, you're not going to have any brakes. And it's just got a dust boot on there, and this little seal, kind of a weird little system set up, whatever. So yeah, that's one thing you got to keep in mind, is just that, really. There you go. And just put your shims back on, your dust boot. Try to line everything up as much as possible. Here's the new one. Yeah. Keep in mind that the thing is still wedged up, so you got to be kind of careful here not to knock that off. So once your hole's lined up and your wedges are kind of in there now, drop your bolt in there and get them all set up and ready to go. It's also a good idea to throw this one in first. You still got that bar. You got to throw that in and then throw the bar on the side, and throw your next one on. There. Now you're all snugged up. Give it a little bit of a lift. Get your little roddy out of there. Set her down. Should mention you should throw the gasket back on it. And yeah, I forgot to mention this earlier. I took this thing off of here just because it's easier to get to that bolt here. Don't forget to throw that back on. And after that, it would be you know, just professional courtesy. We'll vacuum this thing out after and throw the mat back in, and she'll be good to go for another few years. Okay, have a good day. Well, in this case it didn't really matter, just because where I work we ended up changing both of them anyways. But 9 times out of 10, you know, the driver, which is this side, because you got the electronics, usually is not the one that seizes up. It's usually the idler one, which is on the other side by your gas pedal, the one that's going to be used more than not. This one's going to get corroded in here. So no, you know, the easy way to test that is just by taking that idler off and just checking it, because it would have saved me a little bit more time. But like I said, in this case it didn't really matter. We're going to change this one anyways. But when you have this sticky pedal situation, it's usually the idler, not the driver. So